Boston. Let's go Boston. Not a picture? It's a video. Welcome to Boston on a very sunny Saturday. Looking amazing. Let's go get lunch. Let's pause and go back a couple of minutes before this lovely time where I was trying a refreshing Guinness. And let me tell you about this oh so rude experience we had, me and my companion, in Boston that day. It was at the end of the morning. We were starting to get hungry and we were walking in that really beautiful part of the town. I think where there's like those cobblestone street. I'm not sure if I pronounced the word right. Cobblestone, no. But you know, they have really lovely streets, lovely houses, and lots of restaurants. Basically what happened, it was 3 months ago, so I don't remember exactly the details, but what happened is we entered in a fast restaurant and we were completely ignored. It was to a point where I was so shocked. I thought I was a ghost for a moment. And it did not happen once, nor twice, but 3 times in a row on that same street. Maybe that street is doomed. I don't know. Maybe there's something wrong about this one. But so each time we enter a restaurant, we clearly, we're customers, and we clearly, we're ignored. It was so rude. I have never experienced anything like that before. And even if I think about it, and I've been a few times to the States, I can think about any like rude moment beside like the drama about when I crossed the border between the US and Canada, or going back to the US from Canada. Those were really almost like traumatic experiences I really want to share with you. But if you've known me for a couple of months or years, you know that I really focus my attention on the beautiful, on the positive, on the kindness of people. But sometimes I think it's really important to share those kind of negative experiences because it's part of those explorations. So anyway, coming back to those restaurants. So I don't remember which one it was, but one, there were like a barman in front of us who was clearly ignoring us. Like he looked at us, and when I did that, it was like, like he was wiping glasses. I think you say wiping glasses. One restaurant was absolutely like the waitress passed us at least 5 times, going in and out, delivering like the drinks or the meals, and she was mumbling to herself, so she was not looking at us, even though we were talking to her like do you have a table, or just hi. I don't even remember what we said, but it was I was shocked, and I don't remember the third one. There's some people, it was quite busy, but there are many people working there, and they just ignored us. And I think what really like kind of annoyed me is that, well, first they were extremely rude, and I'm not like developing enough and really detailing enough, because I don't really know how to express myself in English right now for those moments. But it was extremely rude, and I was not alone. I was shocked, and my companion was shocked too. But it was like, yeah, well, those are Boston people. I was like, oh, are we experiencing the rudeness, like the, how do you call that, the Bostonian rudeness, and maybe that's what it was. But yeah, what really annoyed me is that you could put a paper or flyer like saying wait to be seated or feel free to be seated, feel free to sit anywhere. And in that case, sometimes it makes this process of going to a restaurant a lot easier. And I can understand, and I actually know it can be very hectic, busy, complicated when you're a waitress or waiter to manage everything, because there's so much going on sometimes. Because I've been a waitress and I know what it is. I've been a waitress multiple times in different places, coffee shop, restaurant, luxury places, and let me tell you, it can be so hectic. You feel like everything just never gonna end. But it is still possible, and the least you can do is say hi. this is the least you can do as someone working, seeing that customer just enter your restaurant, is say hi. That takes nothing. Even if you're just combing through his plates, say hi, and hi, I'll be there in a minute, or the menus are there, I'll be here in a minute, whatever, It takes literally 2 seconds. So I don't know what was so hard for them, or what we did wrong, but clearly we were just... And I do remember there were another couple behind us at some point, and they left before us because they didn't want to wait to know what was going on. That was at the second restaurant. I don't exactly remember, but yeah, that's, the least you can do is say hi. I remember once it was probably the most hectic day I've ever experienced as a waitress. I was working back then in a crêperie, and it was in a very historical, really beautiful street back in the city I lived in, and we had a lot of foreigners, which I love because I was able to practice my English and all that. And I remember once we had to refuse people because we didn't have any place anymore, and we didn't even know when a table will be free. There were Japanese people, so I was like, oh, sumimasen, and I remember I had like 6 plates. I was burning my arms. I was like, sumimasen, we cannot welcome you now. We don't know when the table is going to be free, so I'm sorry, we can welcome you. And it takes 5 seconds to say that. Like, I don't know. And the fact that it was not in just one restaurant, not 2 but 3 restaurants, you're like, what's wrong? Especially when you're clearly a customer, when would you say hi, you're being polite, you're being patient. After 5-10 minutes, you try to grab attention, yeah, I guess, from like the waiter, the waitress, the barman, whatever, and everybody's just ignoring you. It's like, okay, well, they're not gonna eat here then. You're losing clients doing that. And 2 of those restaurants were kind of empty, so maybe that's why. But at the same time, it's that would be a reason for you to be more polite and accept clients. I mean, whatever. But what's ironic is that we ended up at the end of that street to a restaurant in which it was the complete opposite. The girls were so sweet, and it was almost too much. Like every 3 minutes they were like, everything's okay, do you need more water? And it was almost like we could not have like an ongoing conversation because they were always like, is everything okay? But I mean, I'd rather have this than being ignored, especially when you just want to eat a freaking lunch at a restaurant. Yeah, we still ended up having a great time, and the food was amazing at this place. Yeah, especially just, it was lively. They had like a racing thing on TV, and yeah, just they were really sweet. I actually stopped one of the waitresses to tell her, what was the effective or efficient? You're efficient, I think I said. And I was like, wow, you're amazing, you're so efficient, like you're getting things done like this, like that, and it's just amazing. And they were able to welcome so many people because of that. And well, clearly I'm sure their business is doing very well, whereas those other 3 restaurants, I don't know what happened, but let me tell you guys, this was such, like, the amount of rudeness. I was so shocked. It was something, guys. It's yeah, I think that was my first time feeling like I was a ghost, and I was glad I was not alone, because I think I will have taken it very, like, more harshly, like, what's wrong, what did I do, feeling guilty, even though I did not do anything. I wanted to be a client, a customer. But yeah, that was crazy, honestly. After this interesting experience and this amazing lunch, we had quite the enjoyable afternoon. The weather was great. I remember it was hot, but still okay. Boston is on the coast, so it's not as hot as in Kansas City. A few days later, you're gonna see it was so hot. We were here 2 months ago. It was looking quite different.
Thinking about what we've been through.
we stumbled across a market which was full of puppies. I was so happy. And right across that street they had like a Ben & Jerry's ice cream shop, and it has always been my dream. I know that's kind of dumb, but to go to an actual Ben & Jerry's ice cream shop and get a Ben & Jerry's ice cream, because we have Ben & Jerry's ice cream here, but like in shopping centers, you know, in those like big grocery store, whatever. But we don't have the Ben & Jerry's you know, like shop itself. So I was like, I absolutely want to go there and see how they do things and then taste the fresh ice cream. And we did that, and it was delicious. I loved it, so I was really happy. And then we ended up the day by going to the beach, which was a nice surprise for me, even though obviously, you know, Boston is on the coast, so obviously they're gonna be like have beaches over there. But for whatever reason, it's just, you know, it's the weather's quite different, you know. So I was not really imagining. Oh my gosh, I don't know how to speak English anymore. Je n'imaginais pas qu'il y avait des plages à Boston. Let's do it in French. And it was interesting. I remember the wind was quite strong and it was not that warm, but some people were actually swimming, so it was nice. Lots of kids having fun, and it was nice to witness, and we just had a great time being at the beach. So I'm gonna see you next time in Kansas City. It was my first time in the city. We were quite curious to visit it, to explore it, so we did it for 3 days, which will probably make actually 3 videos because we did quite a lot. But that's it for our time in Boston. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you understood the drama. You know, I don't like drama, I don't like sharing the negative stuff, but because I don't think it's, you know, I want my channel to be a positive place for you guys. But sometimes, like, you know, crossing the borders, sometimes it's so much that you need to express it, because it's like I said, it's part of the experience. And I want to be, I mean, I am authentic, so this channel is authentic too, and it's part of it. Yeah, I mean, it's rare, you know, it's rare, but it happens. And yeah, that's all. So if you have any kind of like experiences like that in Boston, please tell us about it in the comments, because I want to know if I'm sure we're not the only one, but I just want to know your take on it, what you think about it, and if it actually happened to you guys before. That would be interesting. And if you live in Mass and, you know, Boston and all that, tell me your point of view as someone living there. That's it for our trip to Boston. It's on a playlist, think summer trip 2024, if you want to check those out. I'll put the Kansas City videos in that one too. I think I'll see you in a couple of days for my first time in Kansas City. Thank you very much for watching. Bye bye.